this is Daisy Nell, and I'm going to read to you a story today called Captain Stan's Foo Foo Band. This is a book I wrote a few years ago. The drawings are by George Ulrich, and I'll hold the book up so you can see them. And here's the story, Captain Stan's Foo Foo Band. Captain Stan was standing at the rail of his little green schooner, Shearwater. He was squinting into the sunlight, looking into the mast at the weather vane. It was another beautiful day on Gloucester Harbor. Every day of the summer, Captain Stan took passengers out on Shearwater to show the way things were done on wooden fishing schooners in the days of old. He had just dropped off a load of happy passengers and was taking a moment to enjoy the view of his favorite place of all. Now, where did I put my sunglasses, he asked himself. He tapped his pants pockets on both sides, then patted his shirt pocket. He pulled on his sunglasses, but along with them came his harmonica. It bounced on the railing and plopped right into the water. With his eyes bulging and his mouth wide open, he stared down into the sea. All that was left was a little ripple. "Whoops," he said. "Now, what will I play in tonight's Foo Foo Band?" The phrase foo foo came from the French word fou, which means foolish. And old-time sailing ships, playing foo foo music meant making instruments out of anything the crew could find around the ship. Cooking pots, jugs, twine, even tools. People call it a music jam today, but Captain Stan really liked to say foo foo. But most of all, he loved to play foo foo. Nothing made him happier than belting out all the old tunes with his crew, who were all musicians as well as sailors. Captain Stan began every one of these evenings by taking his handy harmonica from his pocket and playing his favorite song, "Oh, Susanna." When he played "I Come from Alabama with a Banjo on My Knee," his wife, Nellie Bell, chimed in with her banjo, followed by the others. Pat, the first mate, played the mandolin. His job was to help the captain navigate the schooner. Like all of the crew members, Pat had a nickname. He was called Mailman because he delivered so many wonderful notes. Plus, as a navigator, he helped deliver the schooner back to the dock. Like the captain, Mailman was a whiz on the harmonica, and sometimes they played a little ditty together. The second mate was Jack, whose job was to fix things that were broken. In the Foo Foo Band, he played a bass that he made out of an old upside-down wash tub. He took a wooden oar with a piece of twine tied to the top of it. Then he would prop the oar on the edge of the tub and pluck the twine. Because he doctored things that needed mending, and he could play scales on his washed-up bass, his nickname was Dr. Fish. It seemed funny to him that his favorite fish to catch was a bass, and his favorite instrument was spelt the same way, but pronounced bass. Whenever anyone went below decks on Shearwater, the cook would be in the galley stirring up a stew with a collection of spoons of every size and shape. He was called Cookie, though his real name was Fred. He used his soup spoons to keep the band's tempo going. He held two of them back to back, tappity-tapping between his knee and his palm. He could dish out delicious food for the crew, but when he played those spoons on fast tunes, people said he was really cooking. On Foo Foo nights, Cookie would also play his fiddle. When Captain Stan wanted to call an end to the music, he would give a nod to Cookie to start the last waltz. Captain Stan sighed as he looked one last time over the side at the spot in the water where his harmonica had sunk. Now that it was gone, he would have to go home to get his guitar. He climbed over the rail of Shearwater, hopped onto the deck, strolled down the path to his house. When he got home, the first thing he saw was a pile of logs near his shed. "Better take care of that," he said to himself. Soon he had a nice pile of split wood all stacked up. He went inside to get a glass of water and sat down in his favorite chair. He picked up the Gloucester Daily Times. His eyelids soon drooped as he dozed off for a moment, but he snapped his head upright when he snored a little half-snore. He stood up. "I need to shake a leg," he said aloud. He took his guitar down from a hook on the wall and noticed that one of the strings was broken. He sat back down and changed the string. He strummed a chord and thought, maybe I can finally find the right rhyme for the Foo Foo Band song. I've been working on it. He could never get past the first 3 words. To the tune of "This Old Man," he played one. He sang, "Foo Foo Band, Yoo-Hoo Land." Nah, that doesn't work. Let's see. "Foo Foo Band, true blue sand. Foo Foo, boo-hoo, phooey." I can't think of anything. He set his guitar down and took his red suspenders off the coat rack. He wanted to look extra spiffy for this night. His shirt was still only half tucked in as he hooked the suspenders over one shoulder. He looked in the mirror and cried out, "Yikes! My mustache is getting shaggy. I need to give myself a trim." He looked all around for his scissors, but he couldn't find them anywhere. He went outside to his tool shed. At last he found a rusty old pair of shears. He took a shiny tin bucket and tipped it up so that it worked as a mirror. He began to trim his mustache. Just as he was finished with one side, he heard the sound of a harmonica coming from the harbor. "What is that?" he wondered out loud. "My harmonica is at the bottom of the harbor. That must be Mailman playing. The music is starting without me. Oh no, I need to get down to Shearwater right now." He slung his guitar over his shoulder and hot-footed it down to the dockside, with his shirt only half tucked in, his suspenders half on, and half his mustache shorter on one side than the other. When he reached Shearwater, the music stopped and his crew stared at him as he climbed up the gangway. "I thought I heard a harmonica." Nellie Bell, Mailman, Dr. Fish, and Cookie all looked at him, but didn't say anything. Their mouths were closed in a straight line, but they looked like they were about to burst out laughing. Nellie Bell started pulling an imaginary shoulder strap. Dr. Fish twirled an imaginary mustache. Cookie tucked and untucked his own shirt. Captain Stan looked down at his shirt tails, then patted his shoulder and felt his face. "Ha ha, look what I did," he cried as he fixed his shirt and suspenders. The crew chuckled and gathered around him as Mailman said, "We knew if I played the harmonica you would come right away. This isn't just any Friday night foo-foo, Captain. Don't you remember? It's your birthday." Mailman reached behind his back and presented a brand new shiny harmonica. "Yee-haw! Let's see how she sounds," Captain cried. He cupped it in his big hands and held it up to his half-trimmed mustache. He started right in with the first few notes of "Oh, Susanna," and then stopped. "Well," he said to his crew, "aren't we going to have a Foo Foo Band tonight?" They all dashed below decks to get their instruments. Mailman and Dr. Fish set out some barrels for seats, while Cookie and Nellie Bell placed platters of food and jugs of cider on the cabin top. Captain Stan started his song once more and the others joined in. Everyone sang along as the harmonica, banjo, mandolin, and guitar all played in harmony. Cookie kept everyone's toes tapping with his clackety-clacking spoons. Dr. Fish was thumping on the washtub bass, sliding his hand up and down the oar to play the scales. Under a sky full of stars, the songs and dance tunes echoed across old Gloucester Harbor. Captain Stan asked Cookie to play his fiddle for a final waltz. Cookie rosined up his bow, and the music began. The captain put his new harmonica in his pocket, picked up a mop, and waltzed around the deck with it. "My, how beautiful you look tonight, Nellie," he said as he patted the mop head. Nellie Bell stepped up to her captain and said, "Very funny." She tossed the mop to Mailman as she and Captain Stan finished the dance together. "The band and I have a surprise for you. We've written a Foo-Foo song. Do you want to hear it?" "Foo-Foo song? I've tried every rhyme possible. What rhymes with foo-foo?" said Captain Stan. You do, she said, but you don't have to rhyme the word foo-foo. Here's what we wrote. Captain Stan, play all night with the Foo Foo Band. Take your partner by the hand and dance all night with the Foo Foo Band. Captain Stan says, howdy do, come join in with the music crew. Banjo Nellie says, let's begin, here comes Mailman's mandolin. Look to the stars, make a wish, on the washtub bass it's Dr. Fish. Tapping out time on the old dance tunes, cookies clacking on the wooden spoons. Sing along now, dance and swing, promenade, wing and wing. Play all night in the Foo Foo Band, do-si-do and allemande. Hear the captain, hear him call, one last tune, a waltz for all. That's what we call foo-foo night. Bow to your partner, say goodnight. And that's Captain Stan's Foo Foo Band.